Aparajeeta.io, a Silicon Valley-based big data company with marquee clients like Microsoft, Google, AWS, IBM, with 17 years of analytic system implementation-focused background. Her recent work is the launch of a product, clouddt.com, did I say it? Okay. A cloud-based hosted data warehouse. She aims to cut CapEx and OpEx of such systems for even subject matter experts who are struggling to leverage the benefits of big data technologies for their business growths. She will be presenting a talk titled Get Insights from the Cloud Without Having to Burn a Hole in Your Pocket. Please join me in welcoming Aparajeeta.
Thank you so much. And the topic that I'm going to cover, usually I take around 1 hour, so I'll zoom it through. But I just wanted to know from the audience, how many of you are data scientists? How many of you are implementation specialists? So there is a use case, and you are given the use case. End to end, you have to implement, you have to budget for it. That's great. Yeah. So basically my background is from implementation perspective. So we will cover a use case. It's a retail use case. I have worked myself at companies for a very long time, companies like eBay. It's an online retail, and recently I'm actually involved in another retail company. It's a pretty giant company that various business challenges that they get into, and using big data analytics, how do you solve that, right? So that's the storyline I'll be using in this presentation, but we will look at from implementation perspective. Let's imagine today you are going back and you are thinking that, like anybody else, I'm going to become an online retailer as well, right? So you want to open a business. Let's think that way. And for that, what would it take to implement an end-to-end system, starting from data sets that you need to select, technology that you need to use? Is it a cloud environment, non-cloud environment? And what would it cost you? And how would you implement that? What would it look like? But it has technical touch points, but it will be from a very high level. So we'll focus in the use case, and from implementation perspective, what would it take? Data science, great topic, right? Everybody, when we talk about big data, we talk about data science a lot. But I just came out of a project at Apple, and I was there for 3 years, and they have 1 petabytes of data. And in the team, there are 1,000 plus data engineers moving data from one place to another, etc., and around 10 data scientists, right? You can see. So where is we need to spend our sweat. So let's go through. So a little bit of background on me. Thank you for the introduction. But why did I choose this topic, and why do you think that if I share with you all, you will benefit from it? So these are the companies I have directly worked with, and in my last 17 years, through company Third Eye, it's a big data services company, and Cloudity, it's a hosted data warehousing platform company. So Amgen is in your Los Angeles itself, and to this retail use case, I'll bring some scenarios from eBay. When we worked at eBay. Then Check is another online retail here, and there is another startup that I'm working for right now. It's called Price, as few of them are not even here. So in these companies, basically like eBay, I was the 5th engineer. So when I entered the company, I was given a laptop, and then from there go buy your servers and get it done, right? So after that, many sleepless nights. So that's why I chose this topic. What does it take to implement a system like this? So in terms of the agenda, business use case, we'll go over it so that we have a storyline to attach to the implementation scenario. Data set use. So if you have a business use case, for example, you are going back and creating your online retail store, right? For that, what would you need? What data set would you need? Then technology used. If you are going to open an online retail store, you are going to use big data analytics. What are the technologies you have to use, right? You have to understand. Say you are the business owner, you have the budget, your IT team is going to do it, but still you have to understand, right? What is Apache Spark? A little bit you have to know. Architecture. So the use case that we will pick, what kind of architecture would it look like that you have to build or your IT team is going to build? So a little bit I'll touch base on machine learning, and I think in our previous session already we saw deep analytics there, but here we will also touch how to implement in your production environment. Visualization mobile app. If we do data analytics and if we do machine learning, visualization is a must and mobile is a must, right? It's not today. It's like last 20 years we've been doing it. So next is security. So if we are talking about going to the cloud, insights in the cloud, right? So the security aspects, how can you do it? I'll give you examples there, and we'll open up for Q&A. There is a disclaimer. If you get these slides, you can read through it. I am going to use in this case AWS. It's my personal favorite cloud, but you can use other clouds like Azure, IBM, Oracle, etc. as well. The storyline is that I am using, even if I am mentioning in the disclaimer it's a fiction, but it's various scenarios I personally dealt with in my at work. So in this store that you are going back and you are creating your online store, and say that you name it Shopping Fun, right? That's the name, a lifelong experience. So Shopping Fun that you are going to create, you need to acquire customer, right? It's an online store. Nobody's going to come into a shop that you are going to talk to. So how do you acquire customers? Where are they? In the online, various portals that you need to go and find them out. How do you find them out? Then once you acquire your customer, that doesn't mean they're paying you. Registration is free. How do you activate them? You have to activate them. That's when the money is going to flow, right? So after that, once a user registers and you activate, makes the first purchase, then how do you keep them active so that you continuously make money from that one customer or he makes the purchases, right? This AAA strategy was very much used at eBay from 2000 to 2010. So it really worked. In other online retail stores have adopted this. So you can see in terms of acquiring potential customers from social media sites. The next is, say you don't know where our customers are, but you have Facebook communities and all you belong to. You would like to put ads for your Shopping Fun online store so that people see your ad for the store, and then seeing that ad, they click and come to your site and visit your site, right? So location is gender-based ads. How do you even find out the data set or the customers, or how do you find that your ads, where should you place in terms of location? Which age group would it work better? Which gender would it work better? So next is demand and supply. It's a very common problem on online stores these days. So say you are going to open Shopping Fun online store. Maybe you are going to actually get the goods from a vendor, right? Like the wholesale market, from the wholesale market or wholesale vendor. So they are going to supply your goods. But if you don't know when there will be a demand for your goods online, in which location, and say first of all you don't know, but from your analysis you find that out, right? So then, basing on the demand that you could forecast, you can keep the supply ready. So the supply chain management, the optimization can be done. So this Shopping Fun online store problem focus areas are AAA, acquire new customer, activate them, and do activity, and do targeted ads so that they visit your site and potentially become your customer. And also you optimize the demand and supply. So you don't want to see in your session log that visitors are coming to your site and browsing around, but at the end, at the shopping cart level, they leave, right? So how do you convert them? So these are the focus areas that the store wanting to solve with big data technologies. So the category manager of this shopping store, would like to have a dashboard of big data analytics or analytics, and also in his or her mobile devices would like alerts. What kind of alerts? We'll see. Here is an example: $1 million item listed. So definitely that's a fraudulent item, right? So if you have a category for shoes, it's very hard to get $1 million item, but it happens in sites like this. And this $1 million item, or say a very big item for a very low price, can pull down your site. Okay? So these alerts you would like to get. So this is the dashboard for your online retail store. Say you are designing. Here these are examples. Your dashboard could be different. On the left hand side top, it has the forecast of demand. So say for example, this year in December during Christmas time, which material, which designer, which color, in which location, one kind of item is going to be on demand. So you can forecast that very easily these days, looking at your historical data set, sales data set, and doing machine learning. Logistic regression is one of the algorithms we implement almost in every implementation these days. So you can forecast your demand, that per day, in which location, which product would be of high demand. So that way, your supply chain management, you can tune it. So that's one. The bottom one that you are seeing is in social media. This is a Twitter actually word cloud. For your online store product line, you can pump in the hashtags or the keywords, and based on those, which keywords are most popular in the social media circle, you can get that very easily and create a word cloud like this. From here, you can see, during around December time, red dress or say red gown. It's here, I think, somewhere. Is very big. That means that is going to be in Christmas. We all wear red dresses, right? So it is in high demand. People will be talking about it already, and plus gifts. So maybe in an online store, your goods in the form of gift. If you sell it, will sell better, right? These are various sales strategies, but so on the right hand side at the top, this is a customer segmentation. The existing customer that you have based on various parameters using machine learning algorithm. I'm not going deeper into the machine learning algorithm itself, but using algorithm, you can segment the customers. So that way you can find based on the variables that you select where customers are co-located more, so that those areas you can target better. So on the right hand side, the top chart, something like that, you can plot using an algorithm called k-mean. So the bottom 2016 volume of item each week's 2016. This is last year. So if you have the volume analytics from the last year, then it is very easy for you to see what's going to be this year, right? So this is the use case. But now, this use case, how do you implement it? What would it take? Even if you hire an IT team, what would they do? So on top of that, you would like all these mobile alerts on your device as well, right? And we are talking about big data, very big volume here. So 10 years back it was easier because of the volume is small, so we could handle it. But now volume is high. What do you do? So also this is another feature. This is interesting. It is comes in advanced analytics or artificial intelligence. So for example, if I'm a big Facebook fan, for my personal life, I use Facebook. And whenever my friend, they post their picture with a nice dress, immediately, as a woman, I think that, I wish I had this dress, but I don't know the brand, I don't know, where can I get it from, etc. So if I can get that picture and upload to an app, and that app for your online store gives me similar products, most likely I'm going to buy it, right? So can we do that now? Of course we can do that. So we have built something like this for one of our clients. TensorFlow, I'm a big fan of TensorFlow, machine learning packages. It has a lot of artificial intelligence features. So using their image processing, we implemented this, so you can research around that. So a lot of scenarios in this retail use case. So now, how do you implement it? How would it look like? So data set. So you have to identify what data set would you need. So as a Twitter feed you need, right? Product information, product images, sale information, customer demographic, psychographic data so that you understand better, session log data so that you understand their behavior in your website. So just historically, as I mentioned, I've been working in this field for the last 17 years. In 2000, I did not have the access. Twitter was not even there. Social media data was not there. But product information, product images, sales information, customer, the rest, we had it. So it's in 2006 itself, eBay data was a petabyte size. So big data is absolutely, I think you asked the right question, is it a buzz? I do think it's a buzz. Alright, so next is technology. So if you want to build that dashboard that I went over, we are doing a little bit flashback now, right? So we want to build that dashboard, and what data set will you need? We already looked at. Next is what technology we would need. So these are the few technologies that say you select. That means you or your team, you got to know about these technologies, right? And there are zillions of technologies in the market. Open source is great, but there are so many of these technologies. How do you select it? But say for your solution, you choose this. Each one of these, I'll a little bit touch on it. So now, the system architecture. So end to end, if you ask me, say I run a consulting company, if you ask me to implement the scenario that I went over, what would I build? Say I would suggest you that let's go to cloud. Don't have to have it on your on-prem. So let's go to cloud, because the VMs there are pay per use. So you use, and once you're done, you throw it away, right? Something like this I'll build. Okay, this is by the way, it's a working model, and this something similar to this I built for AWS last year. After my session, I can give you the link how to build this, including code and data. It is AWS published our work, so you can download it. It's 200 pages long document, but if you spend the time to build this, you will have an analytic engine running, including machine learning. And in the Git, we have the code as well. So it's for you. So let's go over this end-to-end architecture. We'll not talk about all the technology in deep. On the left-hand side top, you see product data, company data, sale data. You need that for your online retail store, right? So you are bringing that in to MySQL database. So MySQL database, in big data world, I think people are forgetting the database. But I have big data analytics system running in MySQL database today. So it is how you use it. So MySQL database, I'm storing it there. There, Aparajeeta Client, it's a ETL tool. Using that, I'm storing it in Amazon Redshift. And I'm fond of Amazon Redshift. You can check it out, it's pretty good. So on the left hand side, the session log data, I'm bringing it to S3. And from S3, it's a file management system. I'm bringing it to Redshift, right? So even Twitter data, I'm bringing that in. and putting into Redshift. You might be hearing data warehouse, or these days they call it data lake. Data lake is nothing else but the ODS layer, operational data store, that we used to use it before. So into Redshift, but in the flow, this diagram actually you will get it. So in the flow, we are pulling data in batch form, and we are also pulling data in streaming form, because Twitter and all, you have to bring live data, right? You have to do real-time analytics. So in here, we are pulling it and storing it in Redshift. Once you have it in Redshift, and then I'm running R for logistic regression and k-mean, and reading from Redshift and putting it back to Redshift. Make sense? So here we are using TIBCO Spotfire. That's a visualization tool for visualization. TIBCO Spotfire, even you can visualize live streaming data. So and at the right hand side, Kony mobile fabric that we use in this, and to give alerts on your cell phone. So for your shopping fun online retail store, if you have to run that an analytic system, build an analytic system, it would look like something like this, right? So now my question. So those days we used to build it on-prem, we used to buy hardware, we used to actually configure in our data centers and build it, and build it in our data centers and all. And then we thought that on-prem and cloud, this combination would work better in terms of CapEx, right? Capital expenditure. Nowadays, most of the companies that I'm working with, they like to build the whole thing in the cloud because they think it's pay-per-use, but still they are spending building this. So a little bit on the security in here. So if you build a system like this in the cloud, still today people are worried that that there are security issues. But there are products like Trend Micro that it can actually monitor each of your machine in terms of if your machines are safe or not. So safety is a less of a hassle or a headache right now. But we can touch base more on that later offline also. So just a closing note is, so from business perspective, you have limit on your budget, and we just saw that massive system that we have to build. There is no other way out. You go to cloud, you build it on-prem, wherever you want to do. You want to do a machine learning, part of it, you have to build that. You have to have that infrastructure. So you have limit on the timeline of delivery. So building that, say for 100 gig of data, I would take few months. What happens after you are done using this system? What do? You need IT team to support this. You are dependent. If you are a data scientist, you are dependent on your IT team for that, right? When they will make your data available, that's when you can use it. So solution. So that's where I launched the product called Cloudity. It's a pay-per-use solution. So basically, this system, I have already built in the cloud. You come and use it and pay when you use it. When you don't use it, you do not pay. What do you gain from it? Capital expenditure. You have no capital expenditure. You just go and use this blueprint. There could be some customization for you. So I do believe that that's the next generation of big data analytics system.